Hi there. I just wanted to say congratulations and good on you for downloading the cheat sheet and taking the first step towards getting your writing going. The inner critic is a bastard and it will stop you from enjoying your writing every single day if you let it. But I know how to tame it, and once you've done the cheat sheet, you will know how to tame it too. So the reason why I know you can do that is because I have done it, and I've done it so well that I've written 12 books and published them. So they're all really fun books. They're really enjoyable to read, and I think they are enjoyable to read partly because I enjoyed writing them. When I sit down to write every day, my inner critic sits quietly in the corner and lets me get on with my job, and I want that for you too. So that's why I made the cheat sheet. Everywhere I go, people say to me, I want to write, but I can't write. I'm afraid to write, and everything I write is crap. And that's the inner critic saying that to you. It's not true. So not only have I written a lot of books, but I'm also a trained English and art teacher. So I actually know how to actually get this stuff across to you in the best possible way. So I'm going to help you get over your inner critic. That's the first step to self-confidence in writing, but there is more, and there's a lot of pitfalls in writing, especially something that takes as long to write as a novel. So I want to help you to do that. But first, let's walk through the inner critic cheat sheet. And go for the big view. And there it is. So that's what it's going to look like if you have or haven't downloaded it yet. But I've just set up a little slideshow just to be a little bit interesting and different than what you look at. I wouldn't suggest that you try to do these things as we go through it now. I just want to give you a little bit more wider suggestion on what you can do. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to get rid of this guy, or the one that lives in your head at any rate. Don't overthink this stuff. No one's going to see it but you. You're not doing this for the world to see. You're doing this to get inside your own head. So step one, here we go. Brainstorm. I want to write a book about. Just start to write. See what comes up. It could be that you just start to flow and it goes really fast, but if you start getting stuck, just rewrite, I want to write a book about, and away you go again. Really dream big. What do you want to write? Do you want to write a 20-book series? Do you want to write a bestseller? What do you want to do? So I want you to just do that for 10 minutes, not right now, but when you get to that point of working through the cheat sheet. Next step, the scary bit. I can't write a book because, and this is where you're going to actually meet the inner critic, which you've probably met many times before, but you're really going to let this guy actually have full reign of your hands and your brain. And I want you to just start writing, I can't write a book because. In fact, you could write anything here. I can't, I don't know, get a job, keep money, whatever it might be. And the minute you start with some of this negative stuff that you think about yourself, you are going to start to see the inner critic. So for 10 minutes, I just want you to write. And it's probably going to get pretty nasty. You're not really going to enjoy this experience very much. But also, it's really helpful because you will start to really hear the difference. So this is step 3. I want you to go back through your 2 10-minute brainstorms and reread them. And the first one probably sounds fairly similar to perhaps even your normal voice. So we're not talking about lots of beings in your head or anything weird like that. We're talking about the multitude of voices that most of us have, but we have one general one. But the inner critic generally sounds rather different to that normal voice. It sounds meaner. It says really horrible things. And there's something you have to keep in mind about the voices in your head is that they don't always tell the truth. You think that because it's coming from your head that it must be real, but it's not necessarily so, and particularly in the case of the critic. So while you're looking at that second nasty voice and you're thinking about how it sounds, what does it sound like? Does it sound like a mean school teacher that you used to have, or does it sound like your mum, or who's in a bad mood, or does it sound like someone from a movie like Freddie or something like that? I don't know. Everybody has a different inner critic voice, and it sometimes depends on your history and your past. This isn't mine, but it amused me no end to draw it and name it. So do the same for yours, and don't let the inner critic tell you that you can't draw, because we can all draw. We can all at least draw something as good as that. So once you've given your inner critic you know the voice, you know where it sort of comes from, you kind of know what he looks like in your head, and you've given him a name. It can be something quite amusing if you want, because, you know, to make him a little bit smaller is actually going to help you to tame him. So there he is. He's your inner critic. Now you're going to get to tame him. So that's not my inner critic either, but I did draw him a little bit just because he also amused me, and I particularly like the bunny slippers. So, all right, here we go. Taming the inner critic. So now you're going to do another brainstorm for 10 minutes, and you're going to write why you can write a book. You're going to say, I can time manage. I can shut Facebook off. I really, really can. I can get up earlier. I can stay up a little bit later. I can, I don't know, spend less time down the pub, whatever it might be. If you want to write sci-fi and your inner critic's telling you, but you know nothing about space or science, then you can research it and you tell your inner critic so. And basically you're going to tame it with positivity. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to foil your inner critic. And after a while, when you recognize the voice, it gets a lot easier to hear the difference in the voice and to know when that's your inner critic piping up. I mean, you know, occasionally your inner critic is in fact going to tell you something sensible. You know, don't dance across the top of the Sydney Opera Bridge or something like that. The Sydney Bridge, I should say. Don't dance across the top of the Sydney Bridge when you're drunk. If you're listening to your inner critic, you probably wouldn't do that. But most of the time it's just gonna keep you down and keep you from showing up what you can really do in the world. Write the damn novel. That's step 8. It's not really a step, is it? That's just the beginning. But yeah, that's it. Okay. Now, download the cheat sheet if you haven't already and actually do it. But wait a minute, because I've got a little bit more to say to you. See you in a sec. So how was that? Was it eye-opening? Maybe it was even fun. A poet introduced me to my inner critic so many years ago now, and I still want to say thank you. Thank you to you wherever you are and whatever your name was, because I've forgotten. It just helped me so much, and I hope it helps to you too, because once you recognise that voice of the inner critic, you know when you're not actually doing so bad a job as what you think. As I said before, I can help you get from here all the way to your finished first draft, confidently and pleasurably. I've got a pathway all mapped out for you, full of hints and ideas to keep you writing all the way from the blank page to the end. So if you'd like to learn how to write the way I did to publish my 12 novels, then click the link at the bottom to buy my ebook, Wild Novelling, the First Draft, for $2.99 US. It's fun, it's fast, it's furious, and it will get you up and writing in a week or less. That's a pretty small investment in getting to be the sort of author who rocks up to the blank page every day like a boss. And that's me, and it could be you too. I've written 12 enjoyable novels the very same way as I'm going to show you with this book. There's no need to suffer. There's no need for blood on the forehead. Writing should be fun. If it's not fun, why the hell would you do it? So click the button below, buy the ebook, read it, do the stuff in it, and have fun writing your book. Bye!